The origins of belly dance are uncertain because it's very ancient, but it's likely an evolution from ancient sacred dances that were done to honor goddesses. It has evolved throughout the ages. Gypsies who left India about 1,000 years ago and who traveled across the Middle East influenced the local dances of the countries they traveled through. The Middle East is very rich in diverse folkloric music and dances, but because of cultural exchanges, of the influence of colonizers, later of the media, and particularly of Egyptian cinema, which produced a lot of musicals during the 40s and 50s. A style that is called raqs sharqi, which is the Arabic word for dance of the Orient, which we commonly refer to as belly dance. So this style, developed by all these influences, established itself in all of the Middle East with some regional variations, and then later spread to the whole world. And this is thanks to also the immigration of Middle Eastern populations that brought their dances and music with them. It is mostly a social dance that is done by everyone in festive and family gatherings, but more professional styles have developed with troupes and individual artists who do it as a professional art form. It's also passed down often from mother to daughter. It offers many benefits to women's health, like helping to strengthen muscles before giving birth. Several styles have also been developed outside of the Middle East, the most popular of which is probably a tribal style, which was developed in the United States, and hopefully we'll be presenting several different styles for you during the competition. A belly dance competition organized by Festival Accès Asie, how do you think it can be beneficial to the ancient art of belly dance?
Accès Asie has been around for a long time, and I've known them since the beginning. And it's a very, very good platform to give voice and also substance to the authentic dance form that exists from the Middle East. Because I think when you present a dance form holistically with the historical background, the authenticity, the cultural, socio-cultural, political relevance, and also the artistic relevance, and under the category of the Accès Asie Festival, then it gives some prominence.
Anytime there's a competition in something, it kind of ups the standard. So I think that would be great for Montreal. It also gives a chance for some of the dancers that are up and coming in the area to get to show what they're doing, and it gives the public a chance to see what belly dance is really about. Mm-hmm.
We say it's a competition, but it's not about really the competition or knowing who's better than the other. It's more, I find it's more a reason to give like all the talent that we have here, because there's a lot of great talent in this area in Montreal. To give them a reason to push themselves and to showcase themselves. I think it's always a good idea to mix cultures and to enhance diversity and knowledge.
Why did you accept to judge this competition?
Well, I've never judged a competition before, and it just sounded really exciting to me to be able to sit back and experience these performances, but also evaluate. And I think I've come to a point in my belly dance career where I'm able to make good critiques on dancers. I've been belly dancing for I think 13 years, so I think it's about time I judge something.
I have a wonderful relationship with Accès Asie. I have a lot of belly dance students who are teachers, students of the Oriental dance traditions. And I've been to Egypt and I've seen some good performances, and I've learned from a dance teacher in Aswan as well. I find that the platform here is not represented well. So I wanted to be part of something that brings out the truth, the beauty, the grace, the power in the dance form, and the history of the dance form.
I feel privileged to be in that position of a judge. There's a lot of other people who know extremely well about belly dance that could be also a judge. But I feel like I'm happy to be the one who's there because I can bring another point of view, and I will be looking at different things, and I have an eye to know, to distinguish what is more original and distinguish the strengths that each individual has.
What do you think are some of the misconceptions that people have about belly dance?
I think people don't really view it as an art like they would view contemporary dance. Well, I've personally experienced actually that people think it's a belly dancer is like a go-go dancer. Some people don't really understand the amount of training that goes into it and that it is actually an art form.
I think that in general, people tend to associate belly dance with what's mostly known in the pop culture, such as Shakira or Aladdin, or okay, so things like that. But it's a cultural dance that's way more complex and rich in history and music.
Why do you think that some people from other dance traditions don't always take belly dance very seriously?
I think belly dance or oriental dance is misunderstood. I think if you were to present it in a proper platform with good performances and explain it, then the gap of misunderstanding would not be there, and it would be understood as a beautiful art form as it is.
For one, belly dance isn't taught in dance school, so maybe that's one factor. Also, I think it has to do with where it comes from, and it's traditionally done in more casual environments. And in North America, we've kind of taken on that in some ways and not in others, but we do have belly dancers in restaurants, and it's seen more as entertainment.
The main reason is it's still exotic to people, so when people find that something's exotic, it's like it's something special or it's out there. It's not supposed to be the mainstream dance. And I think it's a shame. I think it would be greater to find it as a common style. The other reason is it requires a different kind of training. More classical forms require a lot of physical training, and belly dance is more about the feeling and the interpretation and the musicality.
Do you think that belly dance should be seen primarily as an entertainment, or is it first and foremost an art?
It has to be a path of life. It has to say something, it has to show something from the heart. You can use the body in all fancy ways and technical ways, but if you don't combine what's in your heart and show it, so that means you have a powerful communication with the audience. And that is more than entertainment. Art, per se, can be entertainment, but you have to go beyond that to actually touch people in a way that they might say, well, this is very powerful and profound.
For me, it's an art form. For each dancer, I think it depends on what they want to do with it. But for me, it's definitely an art form. I do other types of performance too, and they're all art to me. It is used a lot as entertainment, but it's a fine line, I think. I mean,
It could be both.
ballet can be entertainment too.
Yeah.
And
I'll be honest, I think it's a bit of both. And you can make it artistic and entertaining.
In a few words, what does belly dance represent for you?
For me, belly dance, quote unquote, or oriental dance, is an authentic tradition that has its cultural roots in the ancient times, and it is a beautiful art form with many masters in all over the world.
for me, it's the most natural dance, and I find it so graceful, but it has so many angles at the same time.
An art that's fun, and that's intended for the people.
Do you think it's more difficult for you to be successful as a male belly dancer than it is for your female colleagues, or is it easier?
It depends on how we look at it. I think there's a bit of both. As a male, I can stand out more, and it's sort of more impressive in a way because we see it less. But in the same time, I always felt like I had to prove myself more, that I do it seriously, because I could be doing anything and people would still like it. So I felt like I had to push more to be taken seriously among other dancers. But also there are things that are tougher too, because like, let's just say if I would want to dance in like restaurants and stuff, they're always gonna pick women, or
well, not always. You've danced at this restaurant where we are right now, so you.
It's true, but it's always like in the context of a special occasion,
okay.
or so and that's fine by me. It's really understandable.
Can you tell us a bit about the influence that Indian dances have had on Middle Eastern dances?
The Rajasthani gypsies from the northern region of Rajasthan actually started traveling around 1100 AD. And they crossed over Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and also through the Middle East and to Spain and everywhere, all the way to Vancouver actually. And on their way, on their path, with each culture, they shared their music, their dance, and their spirituality. So many cultures were touched and influenced by the music and dance traditions, and one of them was the Egyptian. The Egyptian. And so where Ghawazi actually has a great influence on that. And that is the ancient, in a brief, the ancient story. Now, if we come right now, a lot of belly dancers use Indian mudras, Indian movements.
You're also a circus artist, and you do aerial dance, fire dance. And do you see any similarities between these dances and belly dance at all?
I mean, in general, in all performance, the similarity is art for me. So the individual things that I do are technique based. So I have technique for aerial, technique for fire dancing, technique for belly dancing. But it's the way that you perform it and what you're giving, the story you're telling, that makes it art. So in that way, it's similar, because I get the same feeling when I create a piece for fire dance as when I create a piece for belly dance. It's that creative energy, the artistic energy.
What do you have to say to the dancers who will participate in the competition? What kind of spirit should they approach it?
What I have to say to them is to dance through their heart. Dance for themselves first, and then the audience. The seduction of dance is from within. It's an inner sacred seduction. And when that happens, you shine. And when you shine, the audience looks at you and they shine.
I think it's the same thing I say to myself before I perform. It's not about you. It's about what you're giving to the audience, what you want to present. I would encourage them to think about that and just be natural with it without thinking of it as a show and what do people want to see. It's more about what you have to give because everyone's unique.
Not take it too seriously, to have fun, and especially what I'll be looking for is someone that's able to give me their own interpretation of the music, like not something that they're supposed to do because it's like that, or like just give me their own story.
What do you want to say to the audience?
To cheer as much as they want and to give as much as the dancers will give them.
Enjoy. Be educated. Embrace what is being presented to you. Try to understand where this ancient art form comes from.
Just come in ready to have fun and be entertained and see something beautiful.